Welcome to this practice of Yoga Nidra. This evening you may hear sounds of rain in the background, the sound of the kalimba, which is a little African instrument. And at some point you may hear the church bells that are very close here to the studio. So allow yourself to welcome all these sounds. And welcome to this chronically awesome Yoga Nidra for self-compassion. Practice will last about 30 minutes or so, and it will just come to a gentle close. I won't bring you back out again. The device should switch itself off. But welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome home to yourself, to this practice of Yoga Nidra, passive and receptive, preparing yourself to be held unconditionally. Welcome home to this special Nidra, practice to find tender-hearted space, to start to offer yourself some compassion and to direct that compassion to yourself, by yourself, for yourself. So start by making yourself absolutely comfortable as you can, creating what could be thought of as a Yoga Nidra nest. Preparing this nest as though you may be preparing it for your most beloved one. A divine resting place, safe and comfortable. You can be as creative as you need to be to make it just so. This is your first act of self-kindness and compassion, making sure that you are as absolutely supported and comfortable, cocooned in a warm and cozy space so that you can be resting down here. Making any last minute adjustments you need so that the body can start to settle into a state of stillness. Letting the stillness seep in, letting it come into the body. But knowing that you're very welcome to adjust your position at any time. This is your practice, and this is your time to really listen in deeply to the body, giving yourself full permission to adjust and allow what is needed when it is needed, to honor and respect the need for comfort. This comfort can be a doorway into deeper settling. So knowing that everything that is offered here tonight is an invitation, and you can engage with this practice in any way that suits you best at this time. Reminding yourself there is no way you can do this practice wrong. All is well. You're here. That's all you needed to do. Maybe just keeping a gentle contact with my voice as it moves in and out of your consciousness. Like a thread. You don't need to understand the words. It's okay if you fall asleep. So as we settle the body down now, we can perhaps use a visualization, an elemental visualization, to start to settle the body and to prepare for this practice. knowing that you can come back here to this room at any point you need to. These visualizations are completely within your control. So if something is suggested that you don't like, you can change it. It's your very own. Let there be an invitation to take yourself now to a star-lit sky by a beautiful still lake. And notice the expanse of this sky above. Maybe it's a night sky and you can rest your awareness in this blanket of stars, really connecting to the sense of spaciousness around you. Seeing the stars twinkling in the night sky above you. Connecting to the radiance of the space. And now maybe connecting to the sense of touch. Maybe there is a gentle breeze and you can notice how this feels on your skin. Feeling into the air around you. And from this element of air, now connecting to the element of fire, feeling the gentle warmth that's being created here in your Nidra nest. And taking this feeling of warmth with you by the lake. Maybe you could feel like you are the most perfect temperature. And now connecting to the element of water as you're gazing across the lake. And maybe you notice the moon starting to rise and setting, the moonlight rippling gently on the surface of the lake. And knowing that even though the surface of this lake is gently rippling, also being aware that there's a deep stillness below this rippling. And now noticing all of the senses together, particularly the sense of the earth beneath you. The element of earth, feeling the earth of the body resting down on the earth below. Noticing all of the places that your body is touching the earth. Feeling the places your body is supported and held. The element of earth is connected with the sense of smell, and maybe there's a sense of smell around this lake, a beautiful freshness, a lovely earthy, watery, leafy smell. And there's the moonlit sky and the whole body starts to settle deeply. And you might note to exhale and invite your awareness to root down into the center of your being, wherever this might be for you. So for some people, it's around the area of the heart, and for some people, it's more around the navel. So taking a really curious attitude. And as you exhale, using the exhale to lure you down into the center of your being, wherever that is for you. Knowing to rest here might be the absolute perfect thing for you to do right now. And you might notice that this place brings a sense of gladness. And from this sense of gladness, maybe bringing to mind something that you have before felt a sense of gratitude, and allowing the gladness to be a fertile soil for any intentions that you might have now. Just listen in deeply here, taking your time to cultivate and prepare the soil for what's to come. If you're working with an intention or a sankalpa, you might gently repeat this to yourself now. And we might just wait, since waiting for something to emerge and knowing that when your sankalpa does emerge, it might emerge in the form of words, and it might be more of a feeling. It might be more visual. And it's perfectly fine not to have an intention here, and just to be. And now bring the mind to something that you have had happen to you, or something that you did that you consider to be a good action. Maybe something you did that was kind or generous, kind word that you've done, or no matter how big or small. And really abide in the feeling that comes up with this remembrance. Remembering the good in you. Something you have done, something you said. Doesn't matter how small or big. And it's to this part of ourself that we can go on to offer a sense of self-compassion. Really feeling how it is to remember the good in you. And then starting to offer a sense of compassion to this place. A sense of loving, a sense of kindness and acceptance, a permission to be, and allowance of all that is within, loving, welcoming, and the sense of wanting to alleviate any suffering. And now we can start to offer this loving acceptance around the body, to each place in turn, to the whole body, part by part. You might like to imagine a colour or colours going along with it, Or you might just like to have a sense of offering compassion to each part of the body, a sense of welcoming all that arises and an offering of compassion to it. So starting at the point between the eyebrows and offering compassion here. And then we travel down to the right shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, and now the round, the hand, the thumb, the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the smallest of fingers. A sense of offering compassion to all of the places around the right arm. And now traveling back up the right arm and wrist, elbow, shoulder, and coming all the way back to the pit of the throat. And continuing our journey around the body now, down the left and into the left shoulder and elbow, all around the left arm and wrist, to the left hand, the tip of the left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the smallest finger. The whole of the left hand, back up to the left wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder, and now back to the pit of the throat, offering compassion and loving kindness to this place. Traveling now down to the heart, deep below the breastbone, and resting your awareness in your deep heart's core. A sense of welcoming all that arises, and an offering of compassion here. And now traveling down to the navel. A sense of welcoming all that arises in the field of perception at this navel center. And an offering of compassion to the place traveling down even further now, deep within the pelvis. A warm welcome here in the pelvis. And now traveling down the legs, from the right hip to the knee to the ankle, and all around the toes in turn. Your big toe, your second toe, the third toe, fourth toe, and the smallest right toe. Traveling now all the way back up the right leg, the ankle, knee, hip, and back to deep in the pelvis. Continuing your journey now to the left leg, starting at the left hip, the knee, and the ankle. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the smallest toe. And coming back up the left leg, the ankle, knee, and the hip. And now coming back to the pelvis, welcoming a sense of compassion here. And coming back up to the navel, resting your awareness here at the navel. And now traveling back up to your heart center, the deep heart's core, and coming up to the throat now, and finishing this journey around the body where you started, at the point between your eyebrows, this magical point between the eyebrows. And now holding the whole of your body in awareness, your whole body, your whole body, all of these points, all of these precious parts of your body where you've offered compassion, holding them all dearly with love in your awareness, cherishing them all at the very same time. And now might all these little places of the body that we have visited, could they be covered in stars? A star web resting all over the body in all of the places we visited. And as you inhale, maybe the stars will float up into the sky above. Constellation of stars in the air. And then as you exhale, these stars may float back down to rest back in the body. Inhaling a sense of these stars flying up off the body and into the sky above, and exhaling them resting down into the body, a constellation of stars resting on the body. Each star illuminating each part of the body and offering compassion. And this time, as you inhale the stars and they float up to the sky, with the next exhalation, might they come all down and land in your heart space, all of the stars gathering together deep in the heart's core. Inhaling, letting them float up to the sky. Exhaling, letting them draw into your heart space, deep in your heart's core. And then you can gently let that fade away. And when you're ready, becoming aware of the body resting on the ground. Body resting. And now taking a moment to really cultivate a sense of self-compassion. Compassion for yourself. The sense of taking really good care of yourself and honouring your needs. And maybe consider if you'd like to feel the opposite of that, just for a moment. How it feels when you disregard your own needs. When maybe you allow boundaries to be crossed. How does it feel when you don't take good care of yourself? And then is it possible to hold both of these awarenesses at the same time? A sense of really looking after yourself. And then that sense when maybe boundaries are crossed. Can you hold on to them in your awareness at the very same time? The sense of taking really good care of yourself and the sense when you allow your needs to be disregarded. And holding both of these senses together at the very same time. How would that be? Just watching these two opposites unfold and come together. And when these two come together, maybe something else entirely different emerges. Something lovely and almost magical. And now you can let both of those things fade away. As you rest down and ground into your being. Feeling the ground beneath you, being held and supported. Knowing that everything is welcomed by the ground below. Everything is held by the great earth below, the great mother. And if you're working with a sankalpa, a positive intention, you might repeat it to yourself here now. Or it could be a time to just listen deeply into the heart, into the wisdom of the body, the deep knowing, the deep sense of yourself. And it also knowing that it might be a space for a nirvikalpa, a desire-less space. So seeing how this practice unfolds for you here and now. And knowing that this practice is slowly coming to an end, coming to a close. And that you can take a little piece of this state of awareness, this openness of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra, out with you into your deep, nourishing sleep this evening and indeed into your day to come tomorrow. And maybe noticing that you can find this quiet stillness deep within the openness to all that arises. Welcoming all that arises. Welcoming the sport and welcoming the space around you. Connecting by the fluid breath coming and going. Body being breathed effortlessly and held between earth and sky. And now perhaps starting to feel a little bit more fluidity to the breath. Perhaps sweeping the breath up and down the body with your awareness. Sense of warmth, feeling the body nice and cozy in your blankets. A deep sense of settling remains, moving through the body, shifting states of sleep, the horizons, the depths, the meetings, and the expandings. And as you journey into the night, allowing the dream state to come and go, being comfortable with the here and the there, the edges and the spaces in between. This practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Wishing you the sweetest of dreams, of this unveiling joy, a deep sense of self-compassion and an unwavering knowing of how supported and loved and held you are, always and forever. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat.